What's up, everybody? I'm your host, the American Viking, and welcome to this episode of a podcast-like video that I'm going to call Reddit Thread Rage, just for the alliteration. And this is where, throughout the day, week, or whatever, I peruse Reddit, just the popular and news pages. I don't actually have a curated, For You page like TikTok and Reddit and all these other places do. And if there's something that catches my eye or catches my interest, I want to share that with you guys. And so today, as I was scrolling through Reddit, I found an article from CNN titled, "Tunnel Discovered Beneath Egyptian Temple May Lead to Cleopatra's Tomb, Archaeologist Says." Now, this was released, or updated rather, the 10th of November, and it was written by Christian Edwards. So there's your, if you want to go find the article and read for it yourself. I'm going to read just bits and pieces of it here. Kathleen Martinez, an archaeologist at the University of Santo Domingo, has been searching for the lost tomb of Cleopatra for nearly 20 years. Now she believes she's made a pivotal breakthrough. Martinez and her team uncovered a 1,305-meter tunnel located 13 meters underground. The Egyptian Ministry for Tourism Antiquities recently announced an architectural design expert called an engineering miracle. The excavation revealed a huge religious center with 3 sanctuaries and a sacred lake, more than 1,500 objects, busts, statues, golden pieces, a huge collection of coins portraying Alexander the Great, Queen Cleopatra, and Ptolemies, Martinez told CNN. So that's really all I'm going to read of this article right now, so feel free to go and read that yourself if you want some more information from this specific article. But what's, it caught my attention and kind of piqued my interest immediately because, history is really cool to me. It's facts about who we once were, right? So when I noticed that there was potential news for the lost tomb of Cleopatra, who is this fantastic kind of myth now. Not really. There is historical reference to her as an individual, but her legacy and all this has been aggrandized and everything. It would be very, very cool, I think, to actually find her final resting place and be able to pull whatever historical knowledge we can out of the temples and all of that stuff and her burial place in and of itself. So it was just a very, very interesting thing to me. I honestly know very little about Egypt and that part of the world, and that's unfortunate. I should probably read more, We all should read more, I'm sure. But, yeah, it's just the idea that there is stuff that we still haven't found. There's stuff that we still haven't learned about just because we haven't dug in the right places. That's kind of a cool concept and everything else, and it's got to be exciting as an archaeologist too, right? To find something that could lead to this lost person, the burial place of this amazing person from her time. And even if you don't find the resting place of Cleopatra herself, to be able to find all of these old antiquities and history that lies beneath the surface, it's really, really cool, and even just to find clues as to where she might be resting. It's almost like a real life treasure hunt, to be honest. It's this idea that there is something out there is something undiscovered, and that's really cool and motivating. So yeah, that's this is going to be a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Okay, cool. There is a lot of good information in here, so you guys should definitely go read the article. Like I said, it's written by Christian Edwards. It's on CNN's website, Tunnel Discovered Beneath Egyptian Temple. I'm sure a quick Google and you can get there without much heartache. But yeah, man, history's really cool. And I have a cursory knowledge. I'm not going to lie. I don't have an in-depth knowledge of very many things. But it's the ideas and stuff like that that really hit me, where it's, I don't want to sit and read texts this thick so that I can have an in-depth and intimate knowledge of whatever the topic is. I'm the guy at the board meeting that you have to keep interested enough, but don't go into too much detail because you'll lose me. Which I'm sure is not a way to be about a lot of things, but, you know, we all have our flaws. So anyway, yeah, it's an amazing thing. So, you know, of course, it's nothing like, what is that movie that's got Harrison Ford in it? Raiders of the Lost Ark. What? Oh my, Indiana Jones. There we go. Wow, that took me a while to get around to. Anyway, I'm sure it's nothing like Indiana Jones, where it's just all action and everything else, but it's still got to be pretty cool. I mean, I can't imagine the stuff we would find if we were to dig in places. Oh, excuse me. I couldn't imagine the stuff we would find if we were to dig just, you know, like all over. Like everybody just say, okay, go to your backyard and dig down, and eventually we'll find stuff. You know, there's no way you don't. But anyway, that's completely off topic. But that's what we're doing here. We're just here to talk about some random piece of information. I think I picked a bad one today because I know so little about Egypt's history and the people that are important in that part of the world. So maybe next time I should be a little bit more knowledgeable on a subject before I try to do, you know, a lengthy, long-form type of entertainment content. These are tips to know for the future. So anyway, history is cool. For the most part. Some of it's not. Some of it is very, 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 very boring. Actually, speaking of history, I read something the other day. I have no idea if this is true or not. But during the Mongolian Empire area and Genghis Khan, okay, scientists, what their specific field is, I couldn't tell you, but scientists who study the Earth's climate and history have been able to identify that there is a significant drop in temperature during the Mongolian Empire during the time of Genghis Khan. And the idea is that they are attributing this drop in temperature to how many people Genghis Khan and his army wiped off the planet, which is insane in any format that you look at it. To imagine that there was one man, well, obviously he didn't kill all these people himself, but one man responsible for dropping the Earth's temperature noticeably enough that hundreds of years now from the actual event, we can still look back at the data and say, there seems to have been a large worldwide effect here. What is the cause? Oh, yes, this one guy who just killed ravenously, like just had nothing better to do with his time than remove people from the world. And, of course, there's another factoid, I believe, out there that says there is a very, very high percentage of people on the earth that can trace their lineage back to Genghis Khan, which just means that like half the world died and half the world ended up with his kids. Like it's just everybody. And that's hilarious to me. I mean, I'm sure that there are people from that time period who were not thrilled with what was going on. But I mean, just the sheer amount of impact that is crazy to me. I mean, I can't. It's a weird thing to know, right? You know, anyway. So yeah, we'll just call this one random history facts that I may or may not know at this point. Random history facts that you have to check later because who knows if they're true or not. It's shit I read on the internet, and you can always trust the internet. So anyway, yeah. Oh, man. That's funny. I'm sorry. Just the fact that so many people can trace their lineage back to this one person, and then also we've noticed that there's a dip in temperature because of his massive genocidal tendencies. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. So now you've got two different historical facts in one podcast. the possible reemergence of Cleopatra's tomb, and also Genghis Khan's bullshit. So, like, really covering all different types of historical spectrums here. Oh, man. I don't even know if I have any more history anecdotes to, like, continue this line of podcast data. I couldn't. I'm, like, racking my brain over here trying to figure out, oh, man, do I know any other history facts that I could just string along here? I'm over here like, yeah, but none of them are worthwhile. I'd be great at trivia night, but not actually at any type of meaningful exercise when it comes to history. When it comes to facts at all, really. I tend to just absorb the randomest pieces of information that are not useful to anyone, but then somebody happens to be like, hey, what's the end of a shoelace called? And I'm like, an aglet? Is that what you mean? Which that's, anybody who's watched Phineas and Ferb knows that by heart. And leave in the comments why. Oh, man. Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. And this content is as much for me as it is for whoever's watching it. Anyway, so this is something I'm going to try and do once a week. Is just find a topic that interests me, or that I know something about that I'd like to share with you guys. It may be kind of a vlog type thing where I talk about my life and my experiences and where I am, or it may be what this was, where it's just a random assortment of history facts and terrible jokes in the middle. Or it may be something completely different. It may be an opportunity for me to have an open discourse with some of the other content creators on this platform, or not. So there's a lot of opportunity in this format, so I wanted to try to post something once a week, and maybe I won't call it the Reddit thread rage. That seems a bit clickbaity and a little bit, like, kind of untrue. I mean, I did get the article itself off of Reddit, but then, of course, I read it on... I read it. Oh, God, that's a terrible joke. I read it on CNN's website and everything else, so maybe calling it Reddit thread rage is a little bit misleading. That's the word I was looking for. So anyway, we're going to try to do this once a week where, and again, it's just going to be a podcast type environment. Right now, it's going to be a lot of me talking, so I hope you like the sound of my voice. I've been told that I have a face for radio, which is just a very clever way of saying that I'm ugly. But, so if you enjoy just whatever this is going to end up being, please like, subscribe, comment, and especially comment if there's something you'd like to see in the future. If there's something in particular you would like me to try and cover or talk about, I'd be more than interested to hear what you guys want to hear about. And, you know, if it's something in my wheelhouse, or if it's not and I've got time to do some research, I've got no problem throwing that in and trying to mix that in with the rest of this stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I want to cover here. There's quite a few videos coming in the future about life updates and stuff like that, and kind of giving you guys a history of who I am and what got me here and things of that nature. So there's a lot of content coming. So we'll end that part, the podcast part, there. Now, for the next bit of this, I have not had an opportunity to really do an overview of what I want to cover here on this channel and through my other branches of content. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do that now in the kind of first ever podcast format. So, excuse me. So, I have a couple different branches of content that I'm posting. We, buddies of and me, some buddies and myself, play video games fairly frequently. Apex Legends, Call of Duty. Actually, it's a variety of different things. Terraria's included, Minecraft's included. And so there will be game clips or game videos uploaded once or twice a week, depending on other things that get uploaded. So that's going to be part of the channel. Another big part of the channel is something I do called Breakfast with the Viking, and that's going to start... Well, actually, by the time this video is posted, it should already have started, and we should be about 2 or 3 episodes in, give or take. And that is just a quick 5-minute or less snippet of a morning where, you know, it's a good morning, guys, a quote of the day, and just some little piece of motivation to try to get you moving in the right direction for your day, your workout, whatever, however or whenever you choose to consume that content. That's going to be a Monday through Friday type thing. And then, so I talked about the game clips. Then there's going to be a Pokemon portion of the channel where once a week I'll upload a Pokemon video. And again, by the time this video comes out, there should already be one video posted in that vein. So if you have any interest in Pokemon or have any interest in me trying to learn how to play Pokemon, because that might be equally amusing for you, check that out. And then, of course, there's the podcast video. I also post gym and health information on my Instagram, which should be linked on my YouTube page, so go check that out and give me a follow. And I will do a gym fitness health update once a week as well. That is most likely going to come out on Fridays because that is my rest day for the week. So being able to sit down and kind of cover everything I've accomplished throughout the week and then post it is a good way to do that for me. So when I post this video, it should be about 2 days until my first gym video comes out. So again, like, comment, subscribe if you want to see that content coming. And Thursdays are going to be probably another game-related day. The only reason I'm doing 2 game days right now is there's actually something else that I want to do in the future called a music day, where I get to kind of take you guys through the process of what it takes to make music, whether that be in a variety of different formats. And that may end up being more of a live stream event than it is going to be a YouTube video, because that's going to be where, I sit down in front of my computer, keyboard, whatever it is at the time, and work through the stuff that I hear in my head and trying to get it out into a format for you guys to hear and myself. But there's a lot of equipment that goes into trying to do something like that, and a lot of money that goes into doing something like that. So that is going to be kind of plated for the future, and right now we'll just kind of condense and do two game days. So essentially, every day we do Breakfast with the Viking. That's going to come out in the morning, and then somewhere in the afternoon, 12, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I haven't decided exactly when I'm going to be posting. You'll get Monday game day, Tuesday Pokemon, Wednesday podcast, Thursday game day, Friday gym and health update. And the gym and health update will be similar format to this podcast, with some obviously very pointed information for you guys. So, and then I'm also on Twitter, where I'm just going to kind of post updates of when stuff is released and when there's new content available for you guys to watch. So I think that's about it. That's where I'll call it this time. I appreciate you guys for watching. Again, if you like the content, we love it when we can't get our words right? It's just, you would think, having been around for as long as I have, that I'd be able to speak the only language that I know how to speak properly, but that not be the case. Anyway, if you like the content here, whether it's the game content, whether it's the Pokemon content, or the podcast content, like, comment, subscribe, and turn those alerts on so that you know when I've dropped new videos. And again, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. Instagram is just a lot of me in the gym, so don't expect anything else. And I am not at all in peak physical condition. We're working towards that, but as of right now, I am not in peak physical condition at all. So it's a lot of sweatshirts and sweatpants covering up what I really will look like while I do my best to make some progress in the gym. So anyway, I think that's it for me, you guys. I appreciate your time. As always, I'm your host, the American Viking. Tune in next time, and I hope you guys have a good day.